back here with us on Overdrive. Now, Toyota is going against conventional market trends and is betting big on the 9th generation hybrid sedan, the Camry, which is just launched in the country at 48 lakh rupees. Now, Toyota will tell you all about the new design, features, as well as the hybrid powertrain just before the drive this weekend.
So now as you can see, dimensionally it hasn't changed all that much. In fact, the underlying architecture also is very similar to the last model. But what you do get is much sharper styling. You have these very sharp new headlamps with this C kind of signature. Here you also have ADAS now. You can see it with the camera, and the sensors very neatly integrated into here. And a much more aggressive look with this really large air dam. Now the engine is, or the hybrid powertrain is completely new. It's the 5th generation unit as Toyota calls it. So what that means is the battery is now a lithium ion pack and it's sharper, more efficient in its responses and so on. I'm sure torque has also gone up. We still don't have all the figures. So yeah, that is what has changed with the engine. Also there's an increase in fuel economy as well. It now returns 25 kmpl. Now as you can see, the cabin itself has changed quite a bit, but it still has that mix of toughness, that functional feel that you want from a Toyota with that slightly luxurious edge that you always find in a Camry. But with this horizontal layout, it's become a bit more like a luxury car than the last version. Although I must say that this surface here is soft, this is soft as well. But again, these air vents, they have a nice hefty feel to them. You still have chunky hard buttons for most of the controls as you want in a Toyota. Same with the buttons here for the drive modes and so on. So yeah, and again the plastics here have that slightly rugged feel to them. So again, yeah, you do notice it's a familiar feeling cabin in terms of how you want from a Camry, but Toyota has really gone to town with the features. Yes, you only have a single pane sunroof, but that's pretty much the only drawback that I can see, because what you do get is a head-up display, 2 new 12.3-inch screens. Now the screen, we'll get into it later when we drive the car, but it's pretty much the latest that you can find in any Toyota or Lexus. So it works reasonably well. Like I mentioned, there's a head-up display. Now there's a fully digital display, not the part digital kind of thing that the old one had. You have a 10-way adjustable seat for the driver. You have 3-zone climate control. You have ventilated seats, a wireless charger. It's also comfortable now. I have big supportive seats. The cushioning is pretty decent and good amount of storage. The door pockets, they're quite large. You have a big storage bin here. A big space to keep your stuff here. 3 Type-C charge ports. So in that regard, it's really quite well equipped. And also this is something you don't see very often in cars of this price point, but there is also a powered steering adjustment. It's really quite a rare feature. Now a big part of the Camry's appeal is the backseat. That's pretty much the top reason you might want to buy one, and that experience hasn't changed. In fact, again, like the rest of the car, they have tried to enhance it. Yes, these hard plastics here, they don't quite feel in the right place for a 48 lakh rupee car, but other than that, the kind of comfort that I have, especially with the cushioning of the seats, the way they cocoon me, they're really quite comfortable. And just look at the kind of space I have, even headroom, even with this being a sedan with that more exaggerated coupe-ish roof line, I still have a decent amount of headroom. But yeah, this is a comfortable space, especially if you're traveling 4 people together. And then again, here you do have a good set of amenities. You have 2 Type-C chargers here. You have the seat controls for the Boss function, and you have these sunshades and the controls for the rear sunshade, the 3rd climate zone, and you can control the seats from here. All of those things, the music system control. So this is quite a nice luxurious experience for the money. Now, yeah, you have a central tunnel, so 5 people here will probably be a slight issue, but yeah, this is what the back seat of the new Camry is like. Now, as you can see, it also looks quite different from behind. You have a more sloping roof. It gives it that slightly coupe-ish design, and then you also have a more prominent spoiler kind of shape to the boot, which is pretty nice. And the C elements that we saw from the front, that's also here, especially these sort of blank areas within it. They make the car look much more modern than earlier. Now in terms of the boot, this is how big it is. It's still pretty spacious, looks like it's over 500 liters, and there is a spare wheel underneath this. Now the wheelbase of the Camry hasn't changed with this generation because, like I said, the overall architecture is the same and the wheel sizes are also still the same at 18 inches. Now we don't have the official ground clearance figure yet, but it should be about 140, 150 mm. Now bookings for the new Camry have already begun and deliveries will start soon.
Well, don't miss next week's show as we tell you all about how the Camry feels like to drive on our Indian roads. We'll take a very quick break here on the show, but coming up on the other side, we'll tell you all about the KTMs that were showcased at the India Bike Week held in Goa.